What up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop. Wise Guys channel. You gonna turn the razor? Oh my God, this dude right here, man. You know who it is, man. It's Cliff and
Sammy.
Sammy the barber. This dude right here. I sent him the link. He pop up with his barber apron on and cutting hair. I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, y'all know how it go, man. It's Saturday morning duty, so ain't stopping nothing. We got videos to talk about those, so do it at the same time.
Guy right here. So, but let's get the YouTube stuff out the way. Like, subscribe, comment, all those things do help. So we appreciate the support as we move forward, man.
Please. Dislike too, because you know how they get down. But yeah, just interact with us, and we appreciate it. We'll get right back with you.
That's cool with me. And so, and one of the things, with the topic of it is like an armed robbery that goes wrong, and like black men, we need to raise our sons better. And so, that's one of the biggest things that we are missing in this era that we're in about protest, about right and wrong. We're not addressing that our black men are going to have to lead us forward, and we are doing a very improper job with them. And the statistics show it's not just me making an opinion.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And so in this video, we're covering an example of like, man, these are little boys trying to play a man's game and almost cost them their life, man. And you better believe that is derivative of bad parenting in some capacity. And I want to say this before Sammy goes, before we get into it. We don't want to make this seem like this is a woman bashing channel.
Right.
I think a lot of our issues are because we have a matriarchal structure, but at the same time, us men are dropping the ball left and right too. So we do want to show that it ain't just about the women acting out. The men got a very stringent part in this as well. So anything before we go?
No, you hit it on the head. I mean, this is not about. It's simply about what's right and wrong. It's not about who's right and wrong. It's about what's right and wrong, and we want to address that. We don't want to, I've learned that when it's a problem, you address the problem, not the person, because then it becomes personal. It's not personal. We need to address the problems as is, and then we can move forward from them in that space. But we're not here to bash women. We love women. Our mothers are black. Our sisters, our family is black. You know what I'm saying? Like we support our women, but we also want to bring tangible results, to or solutions to problems that we see on a daily basis that we actually have the power to control. Put or impose our will to. We can actually get out there and do something about it while we're here. We're not gonna have the same reach when we 50, 60, what I'm saying? The kids or the youth are not going to listen to us. Y'all will not be so engaged in the community where these things matter. Like what matters right now is what we talking about. Wow. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. So that's the long and short of it, of what we're trying to do with this channel. And I want y'all just to know that, because here's what happens with this. A disconnect starts, and then people start to do this thing that people do, and they start basically when accountability is on the table, nobody wants it. Everybody wants the euphoric sense of things. So yeah, we're gonna go over this video real quick, man. I saw it on World Stars Instagram, and shout out to my homegirl Desiree who sent it to me. And she thought it was more funny, which it is funny, but I found it more embarrassing than funny. As far as an indictment on our community. So, and without further ado, let's go ahead and show this real quick. So you see the two boys run up on the white dude at gunpoint, and I want y'all to listen to what happens after the main action ensues.
Do you have the volume on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
This is gun wave. So everybody heard that. You saw it. Did you hear it? Okay.
Started from the beginning, because I know when I saw it early, he said something when they ran.
All right, let's try it again. He said, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Damn, took the gun from him, slammed the shit out his ass, screaming like a little pig.
What happened?
He trying to rob him.
He told him, "Get the fuck out of here." So, all right, I think we got the gist of what just took place right there.
Right.
And let's just keep it a beam. That young man is lucky to leave with his life, man.
Absolutely.
He's lucky to leave with his life. And here's the part of the discussion that never really gets addressed is that the fact that them dudes got that type of idle time to go try to rob somebody, you can hear him squealing like a little pig, man. Like he felt he was about to die.
Yeah.
He's a kid, man. I would say probably about 13, 14 years old. And
more.
yeah, so whatever, 16 and under probably, if I would, guessing, man.
Right.
But that's the problem with our society, man. Our boys are just given the options to just roam, move without purpose. And this kind of goes back to our discussion we was telling y'all about the gentleman who lost his life trying to run from the cops, or numerous cases where like cops run up on black men, which is unfair. I get that part, but you're not moving with a purpose. You're just out here doing whatever. And so what happens? We have that idle mind that's for the devil's workshop. So you tend to do your bad deeds when you have nothing productive to do. And so we as men got to start getting in front of this, because this is what our boys are out there doing, man.
Right.
I share this testimony all the time with me and my cousins when I was about 11. Man, we used to kick people doors in and take shit out their house. And I was the one who didn't want to do it. I was the scary one, but shit, it's either go with them or like be at home by myself watching TV. I didn't want to be the lame one, so shit, I had to go out with them. But
you did that.
Yeah. Huh?
You was a jack boy.
Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood, but I mean, yeah, we used to go do that shit. Yeah, man.
Look at you.
I mean, hey, I can't change reality, man. That's what happened. You know what I mean? So just think about if I was in a situation like that and said the homeowner was there, could have lost my life being I wasn't even a lookout. I just was the scary one. Like I didn't want to take nothing, but I was in there with him. So it's like shit. Those kind of things happen when it's idle time. And that's when I was at my cousin's house. I couldn't get away with that shit when I was at home. So I was at my cousin's house. That's when I would do stuff like that because he had a lot more lenient parenting style. You know what I'm saying? AK, his dad worked all the time. And his mother passed at birth. So he never really got a chance to. When I had birth, when he was real young. So he didn't really have a lot of supervision. So we got to do better, man. I know we work hard for hours. But I guess I saw a little bit in myself. Now, I wouldn't have robbed nobody no gunpoint. I never would have done that. Yes. But it's just interesting, these kind of scenarios, and that people don't check. We don't understand what our youth is about. So I feel like I rambled enough. So what are your takeaways from that?
No, I agree. I think when, not even kids, just when people get in trouble is when they have too much idle time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you don't have anything to do, you find something to do. And if you don't have anything, like I said, productive, you'll find anything to get into. And usually that's not something that's going to be conducive to something healthy moving forward. But as kids, whenever I got in trouble, it's because I didn't have nothing to do. We was just out there trying to find something to do, and we did. And it was usually the wrong thing. So when that happens, I mean, it's just, well, I'm trying to think of the scenario around what was going on. Like who? So my mama was at work. Tony was at work. It was usually me and Lakey. And we outside. If it's summertime and we don't have school, we just outside. So we going in vacant apartments, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to explore as kids do. But I think to kind of curb that situation, we have to give our kids direction. We got to give them some kind of purpose and something to actually be working towards. Because if they busy, it's harder, not saying they won't, but it's harder to get in trouble when you got something to actually do. Like if you have practice to be at, it's hard for you to miss practice to go do something stupid. Like it's just stupid then. You know what I'm saying? But if it's kids, it's not stupid when you don't have anything to do, not to them anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if you got something to do and you have a plan and you go away from that plan to do something stupid, then that's just you being stupid. But other than that, it's kids being kids, and we can't allow kids to just be kids. We have to teach kids how to be adults and productive citizens, and that starts now. That's why all my babies, I never talked to them like a baby. It was never, oh, dude. It was never that. It was like, hey, chill. You need to chill. And they months old crying, hey, chill out. They don't understand that, but they started to understand it. Like, hey, all that crying, you got to stop because you ain't crying for nothing. And you got everything you need, chill. You know, so you don't talk to them like babies because at some point you're going to have to realize, oh, they not a baby no more. You know, so you might as well talk to them how they're going to have to learn to speak in life in general. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them how to learn to survive since they can understand. You know, from the point they can understand, you need to teach them. You need to be teaching them that way. And I think that's the way that we kind of stay in front of it. Because if somebody told me, and don't get me wrong, my mama was she was the biggest on telling us right from wrong, you know, keeping us in church and all that type thing. And so I did understand, which I didn't get into a lot of trouble like that. I didn't get in trouble where, you know, I was just out there breaking in houses and stuff like, you know, I wasn't doing that type of stuff like Cliff. Nah, I got it.
It was my fault. Well, it was my fault. I chose to go, so but it is what it is.
I mean, I get it though, because yeah, Scott is my cousin. Yeah, you know, one instance I give you, like you went to the in the house with him. Scott came back. They live by the mall in Waco. He came back with like 10 hats, brand new. We was like, where you get that from? He Dillard's. And he's like, shit, y'all want one? Like, hell yeah. Like, you gonna get it for me? Cause I ain't I'm not taking it out. So I guess he got away with it the first time. We went up there, had a little starter jackets on and looking out for him and all that stuff. And he decided he gonna get all our hats, hold them in his like this, and walk out the front door of Dillard's. Boy, the security came so fast, and I was like, shit, I ain't with them because I ain't had nothing. They jerked my hood, jerked my hood back, and I choked a little bit. I thought I was about to die. So I was like, man, I'm going to jail. And he see I ain't had nothing, so they let me go. They took Scott in. They called up Reggie. He had to come pick him up, and he asked him, "Were we all stealing?" And he said we wasn't. He was just getting it for everybody. He ain't lie. You know, he took it.
He took it.
It could have been worse if I was like, shoot, he got away with it. Let me see if I can get away with it. But I ain't want that embarrassment. But again, we didn't have anything to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get in that kind of trouble when we was at the boys club. We didn't get in that kind of trouble when, we didn't have money to play sports back then, but they did. They played sports. So when I was at their games, you know, but when I got older, when I had stuff to do, I didn't get in trouble. It's when you don't have nothing to do, you get in trouble. So I think as leaders, we have to create some kind of we got to create a space to where these kids have something they can actually do. You know, they don't need to be sitting around at home trying to figure it out because they're going to figure out what to do in a kid's mind. And it's usually not something productive. So go ahead. You got it.
Yeah. Yep. And then that's facts, man. And so, and we talked about the idle mind theory. So it's just kind of like, I've seen it over and over. I can only think of like my junior college teammate who got killed the year after I left.
Baby Bird?
Baby Bird, man. He when Sammy moved out of our apartment, the second year I was in junior college, it was me and my boy Larry. We had a third roommate come in, cat named Stephron, man. He's from Lubbock. Young dude, just kind of like very impressionable, raised by his mother. And you could just tell like he was a funny, fun, loving kind of guy, happy-go-lucky, I guess is the word I'm trying to use. But he had gold teeth in his mouth and shit, trying to prove he tough and all this shit. And so me and Larry, and then we always just call him Baby Bird. Like, man, shut up, man. He always be talking shit. I'm like, shut your little ass up. He wasn't that big of a guy either, man. He's a funny guy, man. But after I left and went on to Prairie View, when I got my scholarship, went back to Division I. I heard within like a month or two, he got killed trying to sell drugs. And when he was with us, he was never going doing shit like that. We were older. We were like 20, 21, and he was like 18, fresh in junior college.
Yeah.
Me, Larry. I think Sammy was just exiting out the picture at the time, but
Yeah, that's when we had the baby and I had to go. So yeah.
yeah. So we were just, we I guess we were kind of his big brothers, and so we were raised the right way. So he didn't really have time to do shit like that. But when we left, he was the big dog of that area. Well, not that area, but he in his mind he was, and ended up getting his lid blown off on a drug deal when you supposed to be in college playing basketball. You understand what I'm saying? So those kind of things, if you don't structure your kid, if you don't project out what life looks like, they're susceptible to make bad decisions like this, man. And so it is incumbent upon us, man, brothers. Again, we could talk about the disconnect all day about how our young men are raised by women and they're being unproductive. But if we're not getting in front of this and taking action as men, and what does that look like, man? Getting involved more with your child's life, even though you maybe have a woman who is trying to prevent you. Take it to court, man. You gotta be more invested in having hands to mold the clay that is our youth, because all this protest and all that stuff, I'm telling you, we're gonna be spinning our wheels. The real change is what we invest in little boys little boys that age.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's gonna push us forward. Not in our lifetime. That's where the change gonna see it. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, which is why he'd be right here listening to this. You know what I'm saying? He 6, and probably don't understand a lot of what's going on, but they know to ask questions, and they definitely understand what's right and wrong. And it's because I'm always talking to them. I talk to them like I talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing different. They understanding it's different, but it's nothing different. We talk the same, and they gonna grow up at least knowing. Now, what they decide to do, that's on them. But they gonna know at the very least, if they do some dumb shit, it's a dumbass decision, and they know it. You know what I'm saying? So, and they gonna have to be accountable for that, and that's what we teaching them right now. And I think that in our community, well, I know, I know in our community that we are not taught to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like we are taught to deflect and blame it on other things, everything but us. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about us in general, just me and you. If we would have been accountable for our actions a lot earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like in our younger life, we would have been way further than we are now. And we doing fine now, you know what I'm saying? But we would be way further than we are right now if we was able to take accountability for some of the things that we were doing back then, and it was simple shit like us not having a plan, you know what I'm saying? Really getting into saving and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have any of that, and it was like, well, we wasn't taught that shit, so and our motto in college, it was do now, worry later. Literally,
literally, we used to say that shit.
Yeah,
we literally would what I. Man, I remember my first credit card I got. They gave me $4,500 limit. Man, I must have burned through that bitch in 3 weeks. I was like, well, but get bad credit. I'm only 19. Do not worry later. Man, I tried to pay. I remember my first time trying to pay the bill on that credit card. I tried to pay the credit card off with the credit card money. I ain't no shit. I was like, how does that not make sense? It's money on here. Use the money.
I don't blame you. See, you always had more than I did, because your mama, I think she gave you that. She had that jewelry card in your name and stuff like that.
No, so that was my name. She just paid it.
Right. So you had established credit already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I got mine, I think they gave me like a $500 limit. Shoot, that was gone like the first day. It's like $500 for free. Yeah. Worry about this, buddy.
Hey, and you know what? I got to mention this part of the story that ties into the story, because one thing, guys, I'm not for, and you're gonna find this out about me every time. I'm not about making excuses for us. I'm not for that, because with this money, that was my money and his money that we went to the Dallas Mall. It's called Redbird. If y'all familiar with the DFW area, it's the Hood Mall. So we went there. I remember buying some, like, we went to Burlington Coat Factory. Well, Sammy balled out a little bit, but I balled the fuck out at that. I bought all the polos. That's back when boys had the long polo. You remember the long polos, like the franchise boys, like, yep, in my white tee. But they used to make polos long like that.
Yep.
So, I got like 3 or 4 polos. They go long. Bought some, like, I forgot the pants that were popping. Maybe some South Pole or some shit like that was popping back then.
Yeah.
Some Timbs. I bought some J's, maybe some Air Force Ones or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably left by buying like close to $1,000 worth of shit. So maybe more. And we bought grills and shit for our mouth and shit.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. So we was going to the bus station. Was it me, you, and Larry, or just me and you?
I don't think Larry went because I remember that we was at the Sprint store when you was getting that
Got a new Sprint phone. Oh boy, I was doing the whole thing, man. I knew I had some money, boy. I was gonna burn that shit. Long story short, just irresponsibleness. But we two upstanding dudes. We ain't robbed nobody for the money we got.
Right.
We just lied for credit cards and got them. So again, no fraud, none of that shit. So I remember us going to the bus station to go back home, and we went to just like a Toys R Us across the street to catch the bus to go back to Oak Cliff where we stayed, which is already some fuck shit to begin with. And I remember us sitting there with our bags and shit at the bus station, and I remember seeing, I don't remember what kind of car it was. I know it was an old school,
like Crown Victoria, something like that.
Yeah, about a Crown Vic, sound about right.
Yeah,
Impala or some shit like that. It drove on the opposite lane and it slowed down when it seen us. And so me and Sammy both ain't, no stranger to no hood scenario. So I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I know what they doing. They slowed up, and then they made a slight U-turn to come into the Toys R Us parking lot. I'm just like, oh shit, here we go. And I don't know what we would have done, but luckily the bus came right then. And boy, I don't care where that bus was going. That bitch could have been going to Fort Worth. I'm on that bus. So little does that bus driver know, man. He avoided a life-altering situation that it could have been. Because if y'all know in Dallas, man, they shoot people, man. Mo 3, one of the latest victims of Dallas crime, like it's always been like that. You understand what I'm saying? Remember the movie Carter High? Those boys who played at Carter High School, Jesse Armstead being one of the best of that group.
Yep.
Like they was out there wild and jacking people like this and playing football on Saturdays and Friday night. So in that same area, baby, pretty much Carter's is the same area by Redbird Mall.
Yep.
So I knew what time it was, even not knowing nothing about Carter High School at the time. I knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? So little as that bus driver know, man, if they didn't come in time and they didn't, meet their route schedule, man, it would have. I don't know what would have happened. Maybe they just was circling the parking lot. I doubt it. I think that was
We know, we know what that was, and boy, if that wasn't a breath of fresh air when we was able to get on that bus, man, because we didn't have no protection. We didn't think like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, we got this money, we gonna go get some stuff, and we going home. We ain't think nobody would want to intervene. You know what I'm saying? And
going to goddamn Oak Cliff. It never registered us. We just knew we had money and we wanted to burn it. So this is before the Uber days. So and with a right mind now, we would have Ubered or called a cab, but we didn't think like that. We just fuck that. We're gonna take the cheap bus and we're gonna go ball out. So all this comes to a head that, like, because even those guys who plan to rob us, it just shows poor raising that you feel the need to go take from somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? And be willing to take somebody's lives. And so that just looked like how those little boys were doing. You know what I'm saying? Ready to go run up on somebody with a gun, and he got hit with some shit he wasn't ready for and almost lost his life, man. And so that just shows the disconnect, within our upbringing of our men, and we just gotta do better, man.
Yeah, and to the guy's credit, like he had every right to use that gun and kill him, trying to come kill him, but he understood these are fucking kids, you know what I'm saying, and they don't know no better. Like, get your ass out of here and whoop your ass. Get out of here. Don't do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it could have been a bigger news headline. You know what I'm saying? It could have been on the front page of the news and an obituary. But they got another chance. So I hope that they learned a lesson from this. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually getting slammed on your head like that to make you.
I thought he's dead after that, man, because you can die like that, bro.
Yeah. Bro, I tell these kids this damn near every week because they always talking about fighting and all that stuff. I'm like, do not fight, because don't fight unless you have to, because somebody can hit their head and they'll be done. That's it. It's either you or them, and now you a murderer or you dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what? It need to really be worth it. And you need to understand that you could die when you get into that. So try to stay away from fighting. And I tell them that because I was so quick to want to fight. when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the same temperament as I do, but and I'm trying to keep them away from that. You know what I'm saying? So because nobody told me that. Nobody told me that you fight a bigger dude, he pick you up and slam you on your head and
Mm-hmm.
be lights out forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I know I can fight, and if somebody make me mad, we're gonna have to fight. And that's just very fucking barbaric way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just try to tell them that. But yeah, we could have been out of that. I don't even think about that now, but because I guess there's so many different instances where we could have lost our life by now. You know what I'm saying? But that was very real at that time. We had too many real situations in Dallas.
Man, I almost died getting run off the road for about 18 wheeler when I was coming back from Stephen F. Austin, man. But I've had some experiences. I used to roll. Well, it wasn't my fault. I guess I'm not telling myself, but one of my teammates at Mountain View,
yeah,
he's currently on death row, and I used to hang with him, going to club DMX. It was another little club we used to hit up and shit. He come pick me up and I'm riding around. PJ, William Langram, and I'm only saying this is public record. He was on First 48. He played high school ball with Chris Bosh at Dallas Lincoln.
So he didn't play the year I was there.
Nah, he was the second year.
Okay, I was like, I don't know. Okay,
PJ, he's a little old, swole old man boy.
yeah,
man. I used to roll with PJ, man, and years later he ended up killing the dude, and he on death row. So, I mean, just me with him. I just remember because he was a serious he has a very serious disposition, man. Y'all Google this man. Like, this is public record. This is there's a big write-up about him in the Dallas Morning News when he first got arrested, because he was a state champion with Chris Bosh at Dallas Lincoln High School.
Wow.
So, yeah, he had them. We always said, but you got some serial killer eyes. Like, he was a goofy dude, but when he got serious, it's like you wasn't gonna fuck with PJ.
Yeah.
I don't know why his name is PJ, because his name is William Langram. We always said, like, dog, where PJ come from? I want to say he told me at some point, but I forgot what he said. But anywho,
Project.
I think he's from Pleasant Grove, so that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
But nah, he was just. I mean, I could just think about we would go out and like I just felt, because back at that time when you were younger, like you would do younger dumb shit, and PJ just would always be cool, just reading the room, like I always, you know what I'm saying? So I always felt like so snapped off. I had somebody with me that's gonna handle his own, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but damn, riding around with a killer. But it is what it is, man. But I want to say all this to say that, like that to your point you were just making, that white man could have ended that kid's life, man. Yeah. And I say kid, but he was doing an adult action. But that scream, that's a kid screaming, man. Yeah, that's a kid screaming. So he had the right to end his life, and if it was him, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Like, nah, nigga, you ain't care enough about my life. Fuck yours. You know what I'm saying? You run up on me with a gun and you lose it. Oh nah. So, but that's me talking in the moment. In the moment, I would have thought that way.
Right.
I would have more than slam on his head. I probably would have kicked him a few more. I would have been so mad that you trying to take everything I work for and you ain't work for shit.
Trying to take my life. Fuck what I work for. My life.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, and then and I only can think a step ahead. Is like, what if that white dude decided to go ahead and dead him, and then run up and kill the other one? Well, no, let's just say he just killed the other one, and the other one ran off.
Yeah.
I can only imagine like the protest that would have took place just because of optics. White dude kills black man. Yeah. And that's so irresponsible, man. I think we do this in our community so much. How about you let the boy know that you have no business running up on somebody with a gun, threatening to take their life, and because you want their shit? How about let's focus on that, because that's just gonna move us forward as a people, not protesting because some white dude felt threatened for his life for the right reason and took a black child's life. We got to get into the crux of shit, and I'm unapologetically gonna speak on this shit because it needs to be addressed. So when people, like I say, Desiree sent me that thinking it was funny, which an element of it is funny.
Yeah,
I'm more disgusted by it because that is another case of a black child raised poorly that will fly under the radar that nobody will check.
Yep, and
we got to do better, man.
No, sorry.
No, you good.
And at the end of the day, he's going to result to what he knows. He's going to default to what he knows, and that is what he knows. He's seen somebody be successful at it, so he tried his hand at it. And he was unsuccessful that time. But when you have that mentality, it's like, well, I didn't get it that time. We're gonna get the next one. You know what I'm saying? Because mentalities, either you get them or they get me. And he ain't get me, so I'm gonna get the next one. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that somebody steps in and helps him change that mentality, because that is a destructive mentality, and he will find what he's looking for, and it's not gonna be what he think he wants. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna want the wrong person, and it's gonna be it. Either for them, and his freedom is in jeopardy when they catch him, or his life. You know, and either way, it's unnecessary for anything that he's trying to take. Like, it's nothing worth that. You know, it's nothing worth your freedom. People don't really understand what jail is until they go to jail. And then they start getting all these epiphanies about what the fuck they should have did.
Yeah.
Like, man,
Too late now. Too late now.
Right. You gotta have some kind of foresight. Yeah, you get in there and then you want, oh man, that's when people find all this religion and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got no choice now. You got full clarity now because the people took your freedom away.
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's start getting ahead of that, because people are like, oh man, like when somebody do a long bid in jail and then you listen to him, like, nah, I want to listen to somebody who had foresight. I don't want to listen to somebody who fucked up royally. Yeah. And now to hear their circumstances, they had no choice but to chill out.
Yeah.
I want to hear somebody who had everything at their disposal. They got in front of it and they changed their ways. That's what we got started part of on our boys, instead of just the OG from the hood telling you what not to do. How about let's start stepping up and letting young men know what you need to do, not worst case scenario what to do, not like here's how you avoid charges things. It's like, yo, listen, that shit is for low tier humans. You shouldn't even be considering that shit. You want to elevate. What do you want? And the way you do is you probe, you qualify. You ask me, what do you want out of life? What do you want to do? Okay, so if you want to do this, here's the way you go. I remember dealing with a female in Dallas, and she had 3 kids. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't do that, you know, so that was more of just a situationship. But, man, I felt it right just to ask her kids, like, what do y'all want to do? Well, we was thinking about making this YouTube page. And I was like, so why haven't y'all done it? Well, Junior phone don't work. And I was like, I tell you what, next time I come over here, y'all better at least come over with a name for y'all podcast.
Yeah.
I ain't say y'all should. I was like, next time I come here, y'all better.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I don't know if they went with it now. I ain't dealt with her in over a year. Yeah. But, you know, at some point, because, you know, they have a lot of ghetto people around them. So my whole thing was like, at least if I be the one voice that they heard that made sense, hopefully they'll take them somewhere.
That's all it takes is one. You know?
Think ahead. Ahead.
But the problem is, we got to have people that know what the fuck to do before they can tell somebody what to do.
Yeah, that's fair too. That's very fair.
So I think and the people that do know what to do, they so busy with their own life, you know, trying to do it, you know, that they don't have the time to reach back, which is why I try to always keep a balance. What we do, you know, we try to keep a balance of what we give back to people versus what we're doing for ourselves, because that actually helps us ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like when we are giving back, because that's the type of people we are. You know, I think if people found value in that they would do it more. You know, if they knew how easy it was and the things that they could actually do, that they would do it. You know, but people don't know what it is or how they can help, so they don't. It's more of a stress to try to figure it out versus, you know, not doing anything at all and wishing they did something. It's easy to wish you did something. You know, so us as men, we just have to step up. That is our job. Like, as the men that are at maximum strength in our community right now, which is us in our 30s and early 40s and stuff like that, that's when we have our maximum strength. We need to maximize the potential in that. And the way we do that is making sure that the next generation comes up the right way. And we only do that when we get out there in these streets, get out there with them, and understand where they mind at. We know where they at. We all been kids before. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to understand a kid. You know, they either dealing with trauma or it's usually dealing with trauma, you know, and they missing something in their life. It's a void somewhere, and we find a way to fill it. That's all it is, you know, and give them some direction. Give them something that they can look forward to. Don't give them hope, because hope ain't shit but waiting. You waiting for something to happen. Give them direction and purpose. Show them what their purpose is. And that's what we can do as men. And we won't see videos as much of these kids running out there on people, up on people, trying to rob them for their goods. You know, that's degenerate ass shit, and they don't have to be that. That's learned behavior. They can learn something else. You got it.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's just the meat and potatoes of it, man. You don't elevate your people till you elevate the consciousness.
Right.
And you're gonna see it being pervasive over and 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 over, guys. So get in front of it, man. Even if it ain't your own seed, you see potential in a young brother, a young sister, impart some wisdom upon them, because whether you understand it or not, that may be the most prophetic thing they've heard in years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because what they used to getting here is sit down, shut up, do this, do that, go to school, do it. So basically, they've been taught how to be a cog in the cog wheel. So what happens? They join gangs because they see they shown a form of love, a form of acceptance, a form of whatever. They see I can get quick money. Nobody's ever explained money to them. So when you get a chance, man, just talk to a young brother, man. And I'm talking to brothers right here now specifically. Because these are going to be the leaders going forward. So if we're not giving them anything, guess what? They're going to be drones of nothing. And they're going to go out because they default towards frenetic energy, because most of them are raised by a mother.
Yep.
So they're going to join these factions. They're going to act off impulse and emotion. So it's our job to step in front of this shit. So that's all I got on this, man. So I know we're running a little long, but I feel like this shit got to be said, man.
Absolutely. I think that if the brothers watch this video, it'll be more discussion about what it is that we can all do together in our areas, and that's something that we definitely need to talk about. So I do hope that they watch the video and comment and everything. And it's not just the guys, you know, because I know that the narrative will be where it ain't no dad around. You know what I'm saying? So, and what do they do about that? Like those kids, I highly doubt that they have a father in their house that's teaching them the right thing to do. Because, it's just, but you know, nothing is absolute. But most likely they don't, because it ain't no way in hell these boys in this house gonna go do some shit like that and think they can come back here and not face the repercussions for it. You know what I'm saying? And again, when you explain things to them on a very basic, fundamental level, they can understand it. You know what I'm saying? And life is not that difficult. We make it hard, you know, so we need to make it easier for these boys and little girls so they can grow up and life won't be so tough for them. They don't have to figure it out when they should be living. So,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, all right, guys, that'll wrap this episode, man. So I appreciate y'all who all check the channel out. Because we're about investing on building our community up, man, and we're doing it from a non-excuse level, and this is just inexcusable shit. And we are unapologetically going to speak in the affirmative to stop this kind of behavior, because this is what is holding us back, unbeknownst to mainstream media's projections about us always being victims, all of the socioeconomical gap, and blah 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 blah.
Right.
The way you beat that is holding ourselves to a higher standard, like most other minority communities do, and that's just what we're gonna do here at this channel, man. So appreciate y'all, man. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike, like Sammy said earlier. And wise guys, we got this piece.
Peace.